The burn from her hand across my face still lingered, but the humiliation went far deeper than the slap itself. I stood motionless in the center of the ballroom, surrounded by gasps and murmurs as the music faded into an uncomfortable silence. My sister-in-law, Melissa, the bride, had just struck me across the cheek in front of hundreds of guests at her own wedding. My offense was accidentally spilling a few drops of champagne on the hem of her costly white dress as I tried to pass her a glass for the toast. I stared at her, stunned. My face burned, my eyes watered. Before I could say a word, she leaned into the microphone and snarled, "You've ruined everything, just like you always do. Why can't you stay out of the spotlight for once?" The crowd shifted uneasily, eyes moving back and forth, waiting for someone to step in. But the deepest blow came next. My husband, Ethan, the man I loved and trusted, moved forward, not to protect me, but to support his sister. "Melissa's right," he said flatly. "You should have been more careful. It's her big day." The air left my chest. My legs trembled, and for a second I thought I might fall. I had sacrificed so much for Ethan and his family, swallowing their comments, enduring comparisons and quiet insults, but this public shaming with Ethan's approval was too much. I turned to leave, my dignity barely intact, when the last person I expected stopped me, Ryan, the groom. He took the microphone from Melissa's shaking hands, his face dark with anger and disappointment. The room fell silent as he spoke. "I can't stand here and watch this," Ryan said firmly. "This is meant to be a celebration of love, respect, and family. What I just witnessed was cruelty, from my wife and from those who stayed silent." His gaze swept the room and settled on Ethan. A real partner never allows the person they love to be publicly humiliated, and a real bride treats people with kindness, not contempt. Melissa's face drained of color as he continued. "If a few drops of champagne make you strike someone in front of everyone, then maybe it isn't the dress that's ruined, it's your character." Then he turned to Ethan, "And you should be ashamed for letting your wife stand alone in this humiliation. If you can't protect her, what does that say about your marriage?" The guests gasped. Some applauded softly, others watched in disbelief. Melissa tried to pull him away, but he shook her off. "No," he said. "Today is our wedding day, but if this is how you treat people, if this is how you treat her, then I have to ask myself if this is the life I truly want." Tears filled my eyes. For the first time in years, someone had defended me out of pure principle. Ethan stood silent, his face rigid, and that silence told me everything. After the reception, Ryan found me and apologized. "You didn't deserve any of that," he said gently. His words broke something open inside me. That night, I confronted Ethan. "Do you even love me?" I asked, shaking. "You chose your sister while she humiliated me." He wouldn't meet my eyes. "It was her wedding," he muttered. "I didn't want a scene." I laughed bitterly. "The scene already happened. You made your choice." We argued until morning, but his excuses were hollow. Something inside me shattered. I finally understood that love without respect isn't love. Weeks later, I left Ethan. The separation was painful, but freeing. I stopped shrinking myself to fit others' expectations. Melissa and Ryan's marriage soon fell apart. The cracks from that day only grew. Ryan eventually left, knowing no vow could hold together cruelty. I didn't leave empty-handed. I left with a truth burned into me. You cannot stay where you were disrespected. Love should lift you up, not tear you down. And now when I think of that day, I feel no shame, only gratitude, because sometimes humiliation is what opens your eyes to the truth.